Hello everybody, this is John and welcome to John's Long Box. Oh boy, are you in for a treat today. This is one of the single greatest issues of all comic book history. It's kind of I don't know if you know or are familiar with Animal Man. It's kind of a goofy DC D-list character, but it was given to Grant Morrison to write because Grant Morrison, this was before Grant Morrison became the rock star that he's known as today. But this Doom Patrol put Grant Morrison on the path to superstardom. I don't know if you are familiar with Grant Morrison, but he is one of the British invasion. He came from Britain with just after Alan Moore and Mike Millar and Warren Ellis, and they just came in and they took over comic books. Just they were like the young punk rockers. Alan Moore being the I don't know, the Iggy Pop, and then all these guys were everybody else. Bad comparison, I know, but there you go. Well, first off, let's talk about this. This is DC Comics. This is before Vertigo. I talked about Vertigo being an imprint, but this is the new format. And if you notice, there's no Comics Code Authority. This is DC experimenting with more adult themes. We're not talking about nudity and stuff like that, but they could get away with more mature themes. So first off, let's talk about Animal Man. Animal Man is Buddy Baker. His original origin is he was abducted by aliens, the whole probe, the whole 9 yards, and he was given the power to copy animals in his immediate vicinity. So if there was birds nearby, he could fly. He didn't grow wings or anything like that. He just had like the power to fly. If there were worms nearby, he had the power to regenerate. If there was an elephant nearby, he had like the strength of an elephant and stuff like that. Grant Morrison kind of changed his origin a bit, so that I'm not sure if the aliens actually existed or if that was the way Buddy's mind was coping with it, but he basically became like the morphogenic field, whatever that means. Like he became like one with like the collective unconsciousness of animal life, and then later on he became the avatar of the red, just like Swamp Thing was the avatar of the green being the culmination of all plant life. He became the culmination of all animal life. And then there was the avatar of the gray, which was like fungus, and then the avatar of the rot, which was decay and stuff like that. You come up with one good idea, everybody copies you, and kind of dilutes it. But I do kind of like the avatar of the red and the avatar of the green, and then the gray, the fungus. After that, it gets kind of whatever. So his origin changed. This later on becomes a Vertigo title, but this isn't quite Vertigo yet. Okay, this is issue 5, and for the life of me, I'm going to say 1992. This cover is by Brian Bolland. Brian Bolland is a phenomenal artist. Probably everybody knows him from The Killing Joke, if you ever read The Killing Joke, where Joker shoots Barbara Gordon, Batgirl, and puts her in a wheelchair. Alan Moore wrote that, Brian Bolland. And then first met, like I know these people. I first was introduced to Brian Bolland in a limited series by Epic Comics over at Marvel called Black Dragon. It was a fantasy, medieval fantasy story. And then Camelot 3000 with Mike W. And Camelot 3000 was revolutionary in that it was like the first of these mature new paper DC comics. But anyway, I digress. This is about Animal Man. So here we are, DC with Johnny DC. This is like their Marvel bulletins. This is just in-house news. The checklist. Look at this. Who is Wonder Girl? 2-part reveals the true origin of Donna Troy's life. Excellent. So these are pretty much a new format. The Shadow 18. This was a great run. Action Comics Weekly. I thought that when they came out with Action Comics Weekly, the quality suffered. Unknown Soldier, Warlord, Animal Man 5, Flash Gordon 8. This was a pretty interesting series. Swamp Thing. This is still Alan Moore doing Swamp Thing. I think Alan Moore left at 83. Doom Patrol. Yep. Doom Patrol. This is great. I think Alan Moore takes over with issue 19. Power of the Atom. John Byrne pencils the deadly debut of the revamped Chronos. Starman. This isn't the Starman that oh, maybe it is. Yes, Starman and the Adventures of Superman. Okay, so Notice the credit page isn't here yet. So here we have a 9-panel. This is in the past. Look at that. We got some roadkill over here, and a truck passed by the roadkill. This guy's picking up this girl, the trucker, the girl they're talking. She's ran away from home. You know, typical story. They just character development over here. I'm not going to go through the whole dialogue and everything, but you get the gist. Trucker picks up girl who runs away from home. Here they are going through the Arizona desert. They're singing, blah, 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 blah. And look, what is that creepy thing? Look out, something on the... Boom! Look at it. It's standing up. Because we went right over it. Oh my God, that was horrible. What was it? Was it an animal? Forget it. Don't look back. Ajax Trucking. Keep your eye on the road. Don't look back. Advice for life, I guess. So here this thing is, twitching and in pain. Okay, what happens? Look at the storytelling here. It's knitting itself back together. You know, Grant Morrison was you know, he's from this British Alan Moore school, so a lot of dialogue, a lot of description. But all you need to really know is, look at that. It's getting up. And here we go, the Coyote Gospel. I just love this comic. Okay, so we got Grant Morrison. I already talked about him. He came from across the ocean, took over DC, and they tried him out on Animal Man. You know, like I said, like a D-list character, and he elevated it without a doubt. It's all Grant Morrison that put Animal Man, Buddy Baker, on the map. If you ask me, he was just you know, an orbit around other things. And then Chaz Trulog is the artist. Doug Hazelwood is the inker. Okay, Chaz Trulog, I literally know nothing about him other than he drew Animal Man, and I like his style. It looks pretty good. Doug Hazelwood, believe it or not, he got founded from the Marvel tryout book. He taught himself how to ink, tried out for Marvel with the tryout book, and boom, got himself a job, to the point where he was inking for John Byrne at one point. John Costanza, you must have seen that name before if you follow my videos. Tijania Wood is the colorist, one of my favorite colorists, and I never brought this up before, but she was married to Wally Wood. Wally Wood, as we know, is the troubled legendary artist that created Power Girl. And Art Young, assistant editor. I don't know anything about Art Young. Karen Berger is the editor. Karen Berger is one of the most influential people in comic books that you don't know anything about. She was in charge of DC at I think it's creative height. She is to, I know people are going to argue with me, but she is to DC Comics what Jim Shooter was to Marvel Comics. You know, she took the company that was already established and from other editors, and you know, like oh geez, the names are escaping me now, and she just coalesced it, made it so much better. I think of her like a trebuchet. She took this projectile, put it, and then flung it and made it even better. And then she created the Vertigo line, which this is a precursor to the Vertigo line. So the Vertigo is the super influential comic book imprint within DC that gave us things like Sandman and well, Swamp Thing was folded into it. Doom Patrol, just such influential comics. Animal Man 5. P.O. Oh, I thought that was the year. I was going to say, this isn't it. What year? Animal Man. Subscription. Come on, where's the date? Copyright 1988? Is this 1988? Wow. I was going to say the 90s, so this definitely predates Vertigo. Okay, good thing I did. Okay, here we got this. This is some color guides, so you know what colors to paint. And as you can see, the lines are delineated. There's the sunset. This is Titania Wood. She's coloring with a brush. So here we are at Buddy Baker's house in like I think it's San Diego, California. They're watching the TV. You know, this is the late 80s, so it's edgy to make fun of the TV preachers, but it fits in with the this concept of the with the Coyote Gospel. So this is his son Cliff, and he's what's going on? And the father's throwing away all the meat. He's in touch with all animal life, and his bond is getting stronger and stronger. I guess if you could hear animals and feel their emotions, you don't want to eat meat. So Cliff is getting pissed off. He's like, "We're gonna eat tofu? What the f?" So the mother comes home. That's Ellen. I think she was some sort of like a ad executive or something like that. And Buddy Baker is a stuntman, and because he has these animal powers, he's a even better stuntman. So he's getting more and more work. Plus, his identity isn't secret. So there you go. Who wouldn't want to hire a superhero stuntman that's not going to get hurt? I guess the insurance will guarantee you work. So she's a little ticked off because he didn't consult. The whole family's gone vegetarian. Don't you think that's something we should discuss? And here he is wearing a Badger shirt. This is a First Comics character, and I think the inker worked on Badger, so that might be like a little in joke. So here he is, like they're annoyed. One of the things I liked about this is that they were kind of like a regular married couple. They would fight, they would make up, they would, it wasn't like goody-goody, and it wasn't like it wasn't the perfect marriage, and it wasn't like the dysfunctional marriage. It was just a normal marriage, and they loved each other, they fought, they loved each other. And here they are, she's a little annoyed. She just went grocery shopping, bought all this meat, and he's throwing it away, Meet you too? You want to listen to some you too? So here he is. Now his power, I think at this point, it may be he still needs the animals nearby. Later on, he could just reach into the morphogenic field and get whatever animal power he wanted. And in the 60s or early 70s, it was just basic fly, strength of an elephant. Grant Morrison and writers after him, they stepped it up a bit where they found some really bizarre animal powers, and he turned into one of these heroes that has whatever power the story dictates. So I like this nice clean art style, that you could follow along the storytelling. So here we go back to this trucker. So this is that first was in the past. Now we're back a year. So I think the first one was a couple of years ago, and here he is going around planting dynamite, whatever. UFO sightings. He's going prostitutes, killed a drug link. Did she look familiar? That's the girl that he picked up. So it looks like his life is taking a spiral. He's even going bald. And here he is. Look familiar? Sweet Jesus, don't let me miss. So he sees everything, and it turns and looks at him, and choom, he shoots the creature, and it just falls into a puff of smoke. Okay, the outcrop breaks its spine. The second impact crushes its skull, unhinges its jaw, snaps both of its legs. It hits bottom, blind and quadriplegic. It just boom, 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 boom. It's still alive. He knows it's still alive. It reaches up. Ruptured optic nerves reconnect, and the world resolves itself out of gray fog. There are shadows on the ground getting bigger. So he pushes this rock, and boom. You get what's going on, guys? So here's an eagle. Time to get close enough to use the second bullet. Animal Man catches up. The magic bullet. And this thing stands up. So Buddy Baker is like, flies down. No, listen, don't move. There's a bomb. And boom. Oh, how could he have forgotten? How could anybody have forgotten he had a bomb? He almost ran right into it himself. Stupid bastard. It hurts. Breathe, and there's a silver rock embedded in the muscle. And here it is. This thing, it gets up again. Oh God, no. So this guy, I kind of glossed over it, but he thought his life took a turn for the worse when he ran over this creature. So he blamed the fact that this didn't. He's like, this must be the devil. I ran over the devil and I failed to kill it. So he went out hunting, and if he could kill the devil, then his life will turn around again for good. So he's kind of, poor guy. He's had a lot of misfortune in the past 5 years, and this he sees this as his road to salvation. So Buddy Baker lands. He's like, "What's going on?" And he sees this thing, and he hands it to him. He goes, "What is it?" He goes, "This is the gospel according to Crafty." And then you learn Crafty's story. No one of these days could remember a time when the world was free from strife. A time when beast was set against beast in an endless round of violence and cruelty. Look at the artwork. I'm sure some of you guys who are cleverer than me have picked it up. With bodies that renewed themselves instantly, following each wounding, no one thought to challenge the feudal brutality of existence until Crafty, Ajax. He's fired. The bomb spins, blows him up. So it was that on a day like every other, the first day, Crafty wept, and at last he said no more. And he took himself into the desert, and he rose up, and he went to the presence of God. And God spoke unto Crafty, saying, "You must be punished for this, rebellion against my will. Nevertheless, I am a good God, and my judgment will be tempered with mercy." Much afraid, Crafty spoke, saying, "I will bear any punishment that will bring peace to the world." "And then you must spend eternity in hell above," said God. "While you live and bear the suffering of the world, I will make peace among the beasts. That is my judgment." And God sent Crafty forth from heaven and earth into the dark hell of the second reality. And Crafty was given new flesh and new blood. And here we have Advanced Dungeons. This was actually a pretty good comic. And taught new pain. And with each new terrible death and resurrection, Crafty knew that by his torment the world was redeemed. And it seemed there was nothing that could truly kill him. And while he lived, there remained the hope that one day he might return. And on that day, overthrow the tyrant God and build a better world. I'm sorry, I can't read this. It's just scribbling, but he can't read it. And this guy, the bomb didn't kill him, but took him out. Because he has one. One thing he couldn't stop him, so he made a bullet out of a cross. He melted it down, had it blessed, and here calls him Satan, shoots him. Toof. Strange, no pain. Oh, I did it! I saved the world. Billy was his boyfriend who died of AIDS, and he collapses, and the poor coyote bleeds out. And there you go. Warner Brothers had just bought DC Comics. So this was literally supposed to be Wile E. Coyote, and God was supposed to be Chuck Jones. But at the last minute, they chickened out and changed it to Crafty. So here we have the reason why Wile E. Coyote always suffers. He's the martyr. He's the savior of the cartoon universe. I just thought that was brilliant. I just love that. So brilliant. Looking at the... Yeah, I spoiled it for you. It's a 40-year-old comic. I spoiled it for you. What do you want me to do? Go buy Animal Man. Okay, I don't recognize any of the... Oh, Rick Jones. This was a famous letter hack. Rick Jones. Okay, so this was a bizarre Dr. Fate series. GM Dementi. It was really good, and it kind of went off the rails. This was awful. Just awful. This was the beginning, because events used to be a big thing. Events are stories that tie all the comic books together. And at first it was a novel idea. Like the first one that I could recall was the Crisis on Infinite Earth in DC, and then Marvel had the Secret Wars. And they were pretty cool. And they were so successful that they did them every year, and then they did them every 6 months. And now it just seems like every time you turn around, so there's a term called event fatigue, where people just don't even care anymore. And Marvel kind of stops promoting them in the middle of their events, and nobody even remembers anymore. But anyway, back to Animal Man. The first 20 or so, maybe even the first 30 issues of Animal Man are phenomenal. Get the trade. You could buy the back issues if you're obsessive about the floppy comics like I am, but get the trade. The art is great. You can't go wrong. It is just some of the best comic books you will ever read. Now I got to go break out some of the Doom Patrol by Grant Morrison. I did an original Doom Patrol because I wanted to set up the comparison and contrast to Doom Patrol. Then I kind of forgot about it. But anyway, get this. I can't, this is one of my single favorite comics, but this is the high point in this is the peak on Mount Everest. This is such a good quality comic. All right, I'm just repeating myself now. But thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. Happy 4th of July. Please like the videos. My subscribers stopped. If anybody has any suggestions on how to woo more subscribers, please, I'm open to them. I don't know what else to do. But thank you, and enjoy your long weekend. Happy 4th of July. Bye-bye.